Hey folks, I welcome you all to Scalar Academy's YouTube channel. And in today's session, we'll learn how to cook. In today's session, we'll learn all about data science. So let's break down data science into its two components, which basically are data and science. Now, we have the social media site called this Instagram, and whenever you upload photos onto Instagram, what you're doing is generating data. Similarly, if you upload videos onto any streaming service, what you're doing again is generating data. And if you do any sort of online transaction, guess what? You are generating data. Now, if we apply certain scientific techniques on top of this raw data, we get valuable information that can be used for varied purposes. And this is the process of data science. So in this video, we'll properly understand the entire data science life cycle through this simple example of how we cook. So let's get started. Let's say a client comes to you and gives you a problem statement. Now, for you to approach this problem statement, the first task would be to collect data. So this first stage is known as data acquisition or data collection. And what you do over here is you collect data from all the sources, from all the multiple sources, and this data will also be present in multiple formats. So to understand this through the analogy of how we cook, so let's say if you'd have to cook a certain dish, what you do is you collect all of your vegetables first, and all of these vegetables would be different. So you'll have capsicum, tomato, potato, onion, and so on. Now, if you apply the same thing to data science, what you're doing is you're collecting all of your data, and that data can be present in the form of a CSV file, a PDF file, a Word doc, and so on. So in the first stage, you collect all of these data items. Now, once you collect all of these data items, the problem is all of these data items are pretty raw, or they have a lot of untidy elements present in them. So in the second stage, you'd have to clean your data. Now, in terms of cooking, what I do is once I have this raw data with me, I'd have to clean this data. So let's say I have this bowl of water. So I'll just put my vegetables into this bowl of water and I clean my vegetables. And if you have to understand this in terms of data science, what we do is I take my raw untidy data and I remove out all of the anomalies, outliers, and whatever other things I do not require. And once I convert my untidy data into tidy data, this is where my data cleaning is done. After this, once I thoroughly clean my data, I'd have to understand my data in a better way. And over here, this process is known as exploratory data analysis. Because what I'm doing is, I am properly understanding the underlying features of my data. So in terms of cooking, what I do is, once I have my proper tidy data with me, I chop it down into simple parts. So here what I'm doing is I'm wrangling the data, or I'm managing the data or manipulating the data so that I can further understand the interesting properties of it. So this is exploratory data analysis. And after exploratory data analysis, once I have chopped up my data and properly understood its interesting features, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and apply certain machine learning algorithms or data mining algorithms on top of it. And this is the main part of any data science lifecycle. So depending on the problem statement, you can apply a classification algorithm, a regression algorithm, or a clustering algorithm. So again, in terms of cooking, what I'll do is I will have a cooking utensil. So let me just take this cooking utensil and let's just consider this as our ML algorithm. So what I'll do is I will feed my data into this ML algorithm. So I'll take all of these chopped up data items and I will put them up into my ML algorithm. Now, once I put all of these into my ML algorithm, what I'd have to do is I'd have to properly train my data. So just you can consider as me training the data items. Now, once the training is done, what I'll get is the final result. So let me also get my final result. So here what I have is my final result. So I've applied my ML algorithm on top of my data and this gave me a particular result. It's not necessary that the result which I get is correct. So what I do over here is I evaluate the result, and this stage is known as pattern evaluation. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and taste what I've cooked. So it seems like this might need a bit of salt. And this is where I evaluate my data and I keep hypertuning it, or I keep tweaking it so that I get the optimal result. Again, in terms of cooking, what can be understood over here is, since this lacks a bit of salt, I also have salt ready. So I'll just put 2 or 3 spoons of salt into this so that I get my perfect dish ready. Now, once I have my perfect dish ready, I can go ahead and serve it to my guests. And this stage is known as knowledge representation. So once everything is set, I'll go ahead and serve this particular dish to my guests so that they can go ahead and happily eat it. In terms of data science, once my final result is set, I'll go ahead and show this to my clients in the form of beautiful graphs or beautiful dashboards so that they can use it for better business insights. So folks, this was all about data science, and we've understood the process of data science through the simple example of cooking. So thank you very much for watching this video. And if you find this video insightful, do not forget to like this video and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much, and let's meet in the next one.